everybody, welcome to Shutter Up and Learn. I'm Brian, and what I've got going on here is I'm starting a new photography channel. I'm a beginner, and I invite everyone to come along and learn this with me. Um, I'm getting a little older, and photography is something I've always been interested in. I think my very first camera my parents bought me when I was a kid was a Kodak disc camera. So that's kind of dating myself for those of you that remember Kodak disc cameras. As I got a little bit older, they bought me a Canon T70. Um, I later took that camera to the Navy with me. I took lots of pictures, but my thing is I only ever knew how to use automatic settings. And I'm really wanting to learn how to put that dial on manual and learn how they work, learn how the settings work, learn how to make different effects within the camera. I'm interested in taking landscape photography, also some wildlife, and it may grow from there. But that's what my thoughts are starting out on this journey. So with that, what I wanted to do is do a little unboxing, kind of show you what I chose to start this journey with, and I did a lot of shopping, a lot of looking. Um, as the holidays were approaching, I was really looking hard, and what I kind of landed on initially was Nikon. I had a couple Nikon cameras when the kids were smaller, and again, automatic settings. Didn't really appreciate what I had, so I was starting over at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and open up what I got, and we'll take a look together. This has been sitting here at this time about 5 days, and I just had some other things going on. I wasn't able to get it opened up. I wanted to do this video, and that's really where the holdup was. I didn't have time to make the video. So today, I was caught up. I said, you know what? It's time to do this. So what I went with, like I said, was a Nikon, and I went with the Nikon D7500. Why did I go with the Nikon D7500? Well, I had a budget. I had some functions I wanted the camera to have because I am interested in photography and wildlife. Um, Frames per second was somewhat important to me. The D7500 will shoot 8 frames per second. So that was kind of a big deal. Guys, this is exciting. I haven't had this thing out of the box. So I'm really stoked about that. So I bought my camera from B&H Photography. They're out of New York. Their website's fantastic. I mentioned earlier my parents had got me my first cameras. I can remember in about 1982, my dad bought a Canon AE1 program, and he bought that from B&H camera shop in New York. Bought it out of a magazine. At that time, there was no internet, obviously, so there was no shopping. And I can remember he looked at ads in magazines and looked at the different stores and their sales sites. And that's how he chose what he bought. So, and I looked. There just aren't as many stores as there used to be. And I looked at the obvious. I looked at Best Buy. I looked at Target. I looked at Walmart. I looked every place I could think of, which wasn't very many places. And I was looking for the best deal I could find, and I thought there's just got to be a better deal out there. So what I actually did, and I'll open it up here in a minute, was I found a 70 to 300 millimeter lens on Amazon. It was refurbished. It was right around $200. So I went that route. I got that lens so that I would have something in the wildlife field, so that I could reach out a little further than what came with this kit. Most of the kits I found for this camera were 18 to 140 millimeter lenses, which I was going to go with. If I'd have found a good deal, I was going to go with that lens. This kit I found after I had found the 70 to 300 millimeter lens, and this came with an 18 to 55 millimeter lens, which was perfect considering I had a 70 to 300. So I was pretty tickled about that. The kit actually came with some editing software, which I will show you. It came with Corel Paint Shop Pro Ultimate. Now this is only for Windows-based operating systems. We do Apple in this house, so that doesn't do me any good. But I got it. It came with the kit. Now the kit was, this was the cool part. The camera body and the 18, is that right? Yeah, camera body and the 18 to 140 millimeter lens was $1,096. Was the best deal I could find on it. Didn't matter if it was Amazon, Best Buy, wherever. In fact, Best Buy's has gone up since then. This I found for $896 at B&H. So I really didn't feel that was bad based on what I was finding, what I was seeing. I apologize. I'm kind of tight on space here. So I know there's probably somebody out there saying, oh, you bought the wrong camera. And maybe I did. And that's fine if I did. I think it's going to do good for me. If this hobby grows into anything more than a hobby, at some point I'm sure I'll be needing to look at getting a different camera. So I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But for now, I'm tickled to death with what I've got. This is the 18 to 55 millimeter lens that came with the camera from B&H. As you can see, I opened the packaging up. They had it packed really well for shipping. Cool thing about this one is I ordered it on a Friday and it got here on a Monday. So I couldn't complain about that. I guess I could, but I was tickled to death. So there's the lens. Again, that's the 18 to 55. All paid for. Now the camera body, let's open it up and take a look at it. It does come with the Nikon neck strap. It comes with a battery charger. Came with one battery. USB wire. Adapter to plug the charger into the wall. Comes with a block shield to go over top of your eyepiece if you're using it without, just using the display screen. This camera does have a display screen on the back. It's a tilt adjustable display screen. And there's the body, guys. And that's the Nikon D7500. And what I went with is I picked up these screen protectors because this is a touch screen on this camera. I don't know how often I'll use that as a touch screen. I'm thinking that as I get more comfortable with it, I'll probably use it a lot. So because of that, I went with the screen protector. Just like with a phone, it's a glass screen protector I'll put on the back. And that kit also came with one to go on the top screen. So I'm pretty excited about the camera. I think it's everything that I wanted it to be to get started. As the channel progresses, there'll be more gear that will, I'll have to obtain different things. I had a basic tripod to get myself started with. I may want to upgrade that in time. I'm going to go with Lightroom and Photoshop for editing. If anybody out there has any ideas better than that, I'm interested in hearing them. I'll need to upgrade my computer. My MacBook has only got 8 megabytes of RAM. I need 16 for Lightroom. So I'm going to need to upgrade that. So these are all things that as we upgrade, we'll talk about here on the channel. We're going to dig deeper into the settings on the camera, what they do, how they manipulate your outcome. We will talk about the exposure triangle. We're going to learn all these things, and it's going to take us time. Hopefully, you'll find some value in the channel, and you'll want to follow along with it. I'm looking forward to making the content and just seeing where it goes. So I think that's all I've got that I want to go over today. There'll be another video coming soon where we'll start to get into the features of the camera. So until then, enjoy your photography and please come back to Shutter Up and Learn. Thanks, everyone.